Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Food for Talk, where we are taking on health and other issues involving health one number at a time. I am your host, Kelli Hawkins, and we have a kind of like a special show today. As you very well know, today is April the 20th, and today is Easter Sunday. So happy Easter, everyone. But 420 also symbolizes another holiday for those who like to partake of the marijuana. Thus, the title, How Merry is Jane? Hello. So we want to say happy 420 day, which is the Stoners holiday. And if you guys are not familiar, so basically 420 is a holiday for people to consume marijuana. The holiday actually wasn't a holiday at all. Let me tell you how 420 got started, and you guys are going to scratch your heads. So back in 1971, there were 5 students at a high school in California who used to get together after school and after all the extracurricular activities were done. And basically that time was 420. And so 420 became their code of them going to this specific wall by a specific statue at their school and smoking with each other.
Meaning the time of day.
The time of day.
That's right. That's what it was.
So now it's evolved from 420 being the time of day that they partook to April the 20th, with them celebrating Stoners holiday. And let me tell you, the 5 students that did this back in 1971, girl, they still meet today.
Awesome.
They still meet today to celebrate this Stoners holiday that basically kind of commemorates them. So basically our show today is really about breaking down what cannabis is, what the benefits of consuming cannabis, whether it be via a smoking agent or an edible. We're actually going to dive deep into the world of cannabis, and I have the lovely Dr. Kyri here with me.
Hello.
Who basically tell us about what you do with cannabis.
So anyone out there who actually knows me is probably tickled that I'm speaking about cannabis. So I've never used cannabis my entire life, never. But as a compliance officer in the healthcare field, I was asked to basically be one of the stakeholders who would develop rules and regulations around the cannabis industry.
Wow.
And so what I loved about it is that it gave me an opportunity to protect patients and to protect just regular people who are partaking.
Wow.
And so though I haven't done it, I definitely understand the medicinal benefits depending on the different disorders that you may be. Now, I'm not telling you, okay, if you're nauseous, go do this. This is not what this is about. What I'm going to do is just explain why different versions are used and in order to help with different health ailments.
Gotcha. And it really is it's an interesting topic because for one, the consumption of marijuana is kind of taboo. One of the things that marijuana has been tagged as is it's
the gateway.
Gateway drug. Yeah. But the thing about it is a lot of people that label it the gateway, number one, they don't really know anything about marijuana or cannabis. And number two, when you say gateway, does that mean that if I consume a bottle of beer, then that's a gateway for me to drink something heavier? I guess we have to be careful on what we
Right. Especially when we lack knowledge.
Yes.
And so I've had people tell me, well, how could you know? My grandma used to say, why do they always have you managing the bars? You don't drink. Why do you manage the bars? I said, because I know how many shots come out of that gallon. And so I know if you're stealing. And so it's it's not always about partaking, just having understanding and setting limitations so that people don't hurt themselves. And, one of the things that I've done in my career is I go to the grows, across the country and inspect them and send specimens off to the lab to make sure that the metals, the toxins, all the chemicals, what levels are there and how can they impact patients, And so that's really why I was excited to work with the stakeholders to develop these regulations, because I love regs, and that's kind of sounds crazy, but I love rules that are put in place to protect people. Yeah. So that's something. So I'm honored that I was given the opportunity to do that.
Wow. And you know what? This is the first time, because again, if you don't deal with something, you're not going to know what goes on in the background. Who knew that there was a compliance officer behind that? But of course, with every state, there has to be some type of regulation for everything that is put out for people to consume. It doesn't matter whether it's a bottle of water. So today's show is going to be quite interesting, and I am honored again to be sitting here with the lovely Dr. Kyri, and I get to pick her brain today, because this by far has been a very, very interesting topic, even for me to research, for me to even research enough to say, hey, is it okay if I do a topic about Stoner's Day? Because, again, it's such a taboo. It's such a taboo subject.
It has been.
And it can be for parents. It can be that for religious people, just across the board, talking about cannabis and things cannabis can be extremely forbidden to talk about. So before we even get into, and guess what? Today, we have a lovely dish. We're going to go with the whole green tradition today. And we're going to have a stuffed avocado. How about that? Again, this is something that is very simple for you to do. The biggest thing that you're going to do is cut the avocado open and take the meat out of the avocado. Everything else is, again, these are just suggestions. You don't even have to use what we're going to use today. But today's dish, again, is a stuffed avocado. But we did want to start our program today with a nice verse. And we're going to do a very popular verse that a lot of us should know. And our verse today is coming from John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. And what a verse that goes with Resurrection Sunday or Easter Sunday. You know what? I haven't celebrated Easter in a long time. My children are old now. I'm old too.
No, you're not old. I'm not claiming that. I don't care. I'm about to be 55, and I'm not old. I feel like I'm better than I've ever been in my life. I am.
Look, no, 55.
Look, I was thinking about when they came to me about talking, hey, how can you help us? We don't have anybody to help us with putting these laws in place.
Yeah.
I thought about where I grew up in Brooklyn and how so many of my friends and how so many of my friends' parents had been incarcerated. And I'm like, we got to put things in place so that we can protect people who are trying to heal their bodies.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. So I can't give you a time frame, but I can say that maybe back in 2019, I watched this video, and the video was this young lady she was having, I don't know what her condition was, but whatever went with her condition gave her like a speech impediment.
Okay.
And she smoked some weed and she spoke clearly. What was that?
It sounds like she may have had epilepsy,
Mm-hmm.
and they will be able to use that, because one of the things I will tell you is that epilepsy is something that people do incorporate cannabis into their diet, and they have found tremendous results, like minimizing the number of seizures that they had.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So, now I know that there are certain compounds in the cannabis plant that basically serves a specific purpose. Would you happen to know what that compound would be that would?
What I'll say is I identify them as strains.
Okay.
More so than compounds, because there's different types, and there's two major types that people know. You have the indica, and the indica is one that you would take, which is probably what most of us grew up seeing people like just really relaxed, and it's like they basically say it's what they call the body high. So you feel it all over, right?
Gotcha.
And then you have the sativa. Sativa is really more like a head high. So based on what you're trying to experience will determine which one you would decide to purchase. But they also have ones they call them a hybrid. So it's a combination of both. And so you might feel one more than the other depending on the brand that you choose, because there are multiple brands. And what I'm not going to do is going to name brands, because that's not my thing. I really just try to focus on the plant and the plant's function, and understanding what would be best for who, and depending on what they're going through. I know one of the things in the healthcare industry, we kind of step away from saying, oh, they're going to use a sativa or they're going to use an indica. What we're trying to do is really balance the combination and figure out, okay, how much of this do they need? How many cannabinoids do they need? How many terpenes do they need? Like just thinking of it more of a formula.
Gotcha.
A formulary, like you would actually, like a pharmacy.
Gotcha.
To be honest with you, right? So it's just a pharmacy with cannabis versus a pharmacy where you go and get prescription drugs, and they're getting prescription cannabis. And so you have those pharmacists who are able to say, okay, well, these terpenes do this, these terpenes do this, these cannabinoids do this, and say you need to take this for nausea, for example. And I would say that indica is probably the one that we would lean towards when it comes to nausea, vomiting, that kind of stuff. I remember when I was battling cancer, and when my doctor was describing my treatment plan, he says it's going to be a lot of nausea. And he says, if you want to use cannabis during your treatment, I'll give you a prescription for it. I chose not to, but I definitely understand. I see a lot of the patients who benefit from it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So now we all know that every state has its own regulation. We are actually in the state of Georgia. So unfortunately for the state of Georgia, it's not legal. Now, let's talk about the states. Do you happen to know which states have legal medical, legal recreational, or just not legal at all for both?
So what I could tell you, I'm not going to sit here and rattle off a whole bunch of states, but I'll tell you, like, we have 38 states who have really brought in, and then the remainder who have not brought in. But specifically what I want to tell you is it's only a few states that haven't brought in for medicinal or recreational. Okay. And so we have Kansas, Idaho, which is so crazy. Like, I just can't even believe that Kansas City has not. No. I'm sorry, Kansas, not Kansas City. Because I'm like, Missouri definitely is. South Carolina and Wyoming are the states that do not have medicinal or recreational.
Okay. Can I say something about South Carolina?
Mm.
Because I remember we went to South Carolina back in August. Yeah, August of last year. Okay. Audience, they are a dry Sunday. Like, wait a minute. I can't buy no wine here in South Carolina on a Sunday. So yeah, I would definitely believe that about South Carolina. Wow.
I know I don't want to keep talking and you have a break. I know legally we gotta take a break. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, we're in Georgia and everybody talks about, oh, Georgia is legal for marijuana for medicinal purposes, but they're not legal for marijuana. It's more so a hemp product that we're producing in order to make sure that there can be some relief given to patients. So just want to, I'm not going to talk about all of it right this second, but I just want to, make sure people know that there's a difference between them and which states, fall under that with Georgia as well.
Gotcha. And yeah, we are coming up on our break. So when we get back, we'll dive into building our stuffed avocado, and then we're going to dive more into this subject. Okay, hemp and cannabis. We got to talk about this. So we will see you when we get back.
Powder Springs, Georgia, and surrounding area. Do you have something to pack, ship, print, copy, fax? Well, make your way to Mail in the Box, your neighborhood business center, located at 4400 Brownsville Road, Suite 105, Powder Springs, Georgia, 30127. Mail in the Box offers a plethora of services which include notary services, digital fingerprinting, document shredding, passport photos, physical and virtual mailboxes, just to name a few. For more information about the services offered, please stop by their website at www.mailinthebox.net. Mail in the Box, your neighborhood business center, and tell them that Kelly sent you. My name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. Numbers is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers into non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes one number at a time.
And let's have a moment of clarity. There's freedom in your transparency. When you speak, you release, that's therapy. It's my decision to listen and do it carefully. Wanna live carefree? Well, it's gonna start. When secrets are kept, families are torn apart. I wanna do my part to help heal your heart. Shed some light on your life when your days are dark. Help ignite a spark that'll bring change. Be your shelter from the rain, assist with.
Here we go. Intro for my show. Nice though, hot like nitro. Cool as ice though. With that type of dichotomy, y'all know it's gotta be. Who else could it be but T? Rub your eyes, behold the Tony D. I'm the Dream Supreme DJ straight out of Queens. I'm eclectic, the dopest selected. Emerging music break. Tony D will take, yeah.
Well, Tony, I don't care, long as you take me there, someplace to ease my mind.
This is recording artist Bertrand McKinney, aka Birdie, and you're listening to CHH Jams, where the bars come from the word. Y'all keep it locked.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is Orlando Presents right here on CHH Jam Presents. Make sure y'all tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and check out our new show, CHH Jam Presents, right here on The Real Level Up. Let's go, y'all. Let's level up, level up. Let's get it. CHH Jam Presents.
Hello, everyone. This is Pat Nash of Pat Nash Talks, where we have the conversations that create real relationships. I'm here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us right here on Level Up Nation. See you then.
Welcome back, everyone. So again, now we want to go ahead and start building our avocado. And so again, this is something that is very simple. It's very easy. Again, when I say that everything in Numbers Volume 1 and Numbers Volume 2 is just a very simple thing for you to put together and consume, trust me, believe me, I am telling the truth. So basically what we did was we took out the meat of our avocado and we put it in a bowl. We put a little lime juice in our bowl and we smashed our avocado. So basically we have a smashed avocado. And just, you know, to grab our time, we did put just a little bit of sour cream in our avocado.
It really lightens it up.
Yes. So basically, we kind of want to take a little bit of the bite, but the avocado is going to basically blend in the flavor of whatever you put in it. So that is the wonder about the avocado. The avocado is a superfood. And when I say superfood, the avocado is packed with vitamins. The avocado also helps to regulate blood sugar. It can also help to fight against the bad cholesterol because it's got good fat. It's got good fat in it, and it helps to fight bad cholesterol. So you have a superfood here. So what I have, well, we both have grilled Vidalia onions. So I'm going to go ahead and add my grilled Vidalia onions to my avocado. We both have sun-dried tomatoes, and I love the sun-dried tomatoes that are julienne and are in the oil. They're in olive oil. So we're going to go ahead and put in our sun-dried tomatoes. We both have grilled chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my grilled chicken. Now, Dr. Kyri does not have bacon bits, but I do. So I'm going to go ahead and add me some bacon bits to my mixture here. And we both have green onion. So we're also going to add some green onion. And trust and believe, you guys are going to love this. And you can pick whatever meat you want. You know, basically, this is just giving you an idea of what to put in your stuffed avocado. We have basic seasonings again. We have some white salt. So I am going to put just a little dash of salt in mine. Here you go.
Thank you.
And we have black pepper. So again, basic seasonings, nothing fancy smancy. Well, we do have some ranch seasoning here. This is the black pepper. And then I just have some Hidden Valley ranch seasoning. So I wanted to, you know, try a little bit of the Hidden Valley ranch seasoning in my my stuffed avocado. Did you want the ranch?
Sure, I'll try.
And so now all we're going to do is that we're going to stir and mix everything together. Yes. And I'm telling you, this is a very, very good dish, because basically we're stuffing this avocado and this is our meal. And honestly, this is very filling. It is very filling.
I'm excited to eat it. I know during the break, someone asked about the like what they know that with the indica we're using it for nausea and vomiting, but the sativa, a lot of times this is one of the main strains that are being used specifically for depression, and against the epilepsy. That's the one that's being used, and most importantly, I'm not going to say most, but very important, is the PTSD.
Really?
Yeah, PTSD. That is one that so many who have experienced PTSD, who are living with PTSD, when they choose not to use the prescription drugs, usually they don't use both. They just make a decision. You know, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this in exchange. And they have had remarkable results.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, now I know that you have been in the healthcare field for a number of years.
Yes.
What made you interested in becoming a compliance officer?
Well, I looked at compliance very differently. Like, people always think about compliance as just a bunch of rules you got to follow. Where I look at compliance as rules that aid in patient safety. And so I make a direct correlation into the lowering the number of patients who are passing away because of someone's negligence in the hospital. And so I absolutely love it. I love teaching it. I love explaining to nurses and doctors about, you know, why we're asking them to do X, Y, and Z. And what I have found is that it's very effective. Like, it has really, like, you become an agent of change. You are just that person who has helped people to understand, okay, it's not just about this authorities coming in to do an inspection. No, it's about the fact that this patient is not going to die because this is not going to be contaminated because you are cleaning things properly. You are checking your medicine cabinet so you don't have medicine carts, so you don't have people getting expired medication. You know, there's just things that you do to keep patients safe. And what I've learned is that I've been in healthcare now 34 years, and specifically in compliance about 25. And it's just transformative when people understand, like, hey, this is why we're not doing this. Not because doc is going to come get us, you know, because no, they say, okay, I understand. And so that it just motivates them to do things differently and be more aware. Yeah.
Well, I have to have a taste. This is phenomenal. I haven't had this in a long time, but this is absolutely delicious. Again, this is something that you don't have to use chicken. You can use beef. You can use fish. You can use shrimp.
You have some big shrimp over there.
Yes, and we do have some shrimp that I got steamed. Again, this is all about just doing something different. Again, this is a meal. This is a delicious meal, and it's simple and it's healthier for you. You know, as you know, if you are type 2 diabetic, or if you are in that range where you are on the edge of being one, this is something that you can consume, and it's not going to spike your blood sugar. And it, you know, the avocado is a superfood that actually helps regulate your blood sugar. So again, another book, another suggestion from my book, Numbers Volume 1. This was one of the first recipes that I got together for Numbers Volume 1.
Awesome. That's very good. It's very, very good.
And it's
Very
simple.
yummy. It's
Simple.
now me. I know we supposed to be doing no carbs, but I just imagine that if you had some tortilla chips
Oh my gosh.
with this right now.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all. So good.
But you know what I substitute for the tortilla chips?
Mhm.
I use either the bean chips
Mhm.
that look like tortilla
Right. That's
chips,
very good.
or they've got the sweet potato chips.
Okay. That's true.
So you can still have that little crunch. You
Mhm.
just have a crunch in a different way.
Right.
So yes, this is our recipe idea for the day is a stuffed avocado. And again, this idea is in Numbers Volume 1. You can actually go to my website, which is kellydbryant.com. You go to my website, there are affiliate links that take you to my books. But we need to return to our conversation with Dr. Kyri about cannabis. Now, we led into our commercial break with cannabis, hemp. Cannabis, hemp. What's the difference?
I would more so say hemp marijuana because cannabis is like the umbrella, right?
Gotcha.
And so they are both cannabis.
Okay.
Hemp is, to give you a good example. So we're not going to talk about percentages that much,
Okay.
but hemp is definitely a plant that is a mom and a dad, like mother and the father.
Okay.
And the combination itself, what you see here in Georgia is that they're not promoting marijuana. What they're promoting most so is CBD products.
Gotcha.
And so those are derived from hemp.
Okay.
And the biggest difference between hemp and marijuana is that the CBD component is extremely high in hemp,
Gotcha.
where the THC component is only 0.3.
Oh, wow.
So on the other side,
Mhm.
marijuana, which can be male or female,
Mhm.
the components of THC are very, very high. So remember, hemp is 0.3%, not
Okay.
even 1% of
Mhm.
THC, whereas marijuana is closer to 5% of THC, and it can go all the way up to 35%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the drastic difference that you have in what they're allowing us to use in order to help with these different disorders
Mhm.
on the medicinal side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's important for you to know.
Yeah.
You know, hemp is actually used to make clothes. I mean, there's so many uses of hemp, of the plant itself,
Oh, wow.
and you can get it without having any kind of negative impact to, you know, your day to day.
Mhm.
And it 100% helps with blood pressure and cholesterol, things like that. So even if you wanted to use some of the hemp, like in a smoothie, you know, something, you could get the benefits of it without being high.
Wow.
Mhm.
So like when I was doing my research, so I guess we kind of need to know the difference between what THC is and what CBD is.
Well, THC is really more like really psychotic, like can make you feel so many things, make you feel like not yourself.
Mhm.
With CBD itself, it just gives you more of the healthy benefits, right? That would be the difference. So you looking at cannabinoids,
Mhm.
but you're looking at the different components of it and how one of them can really make you feel, you know, not like yourself.
Yes.
Not like yourself. And, you know, and the other could really just give you all of the health benefits from it. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, we'll just keep it
Gotcha.
that simple.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to do a science lesson right now. But yeah.
Because I know we're doing my research. So I guess the biggest thing between the THC and the CBD is the THC is the compound that gives you that high, and the CBD, of course, this is something that I did not know. It's the anti-inflammatory.
And it really does depend on which strain you're using.
Okay,
Right.
tell us about that.
So in most cases, people are going to use a sativa when they want to have anti-inflammatory responses. Yeah, so you're going to use that one. And it's really amazing. I was meeting with one of my dear friends that I grew up with, and we had an incredible time just talking about his business. And what I love about what he's doing, he's a veteran. And he has created a business model
Mhm.
that will allow him to help other veterans who are suffering with PTSD.
Oh, wow.
And so his grow is so unique and special because it's organic.
Oh,
So it's a completely organic farm, and it's a small farm that he's doing, and he's supplying and helping them, and so it has good benefits. So a lot of people just think, oh, these people are walking around high. No, some of them are not walking around high, but they're able to have conversations with you. They're able to go to work. They're able to spend time with their children and their family and not have episodes of PTSD on a regular basis.
wow, wow,
Mhm.
wow. And I am totally a believer of that, because again, that video that I watched back in 2019, that video blew my mind. Again, the young lady seemed to have a speech impediment, and then she smoked some marijuana, and she spoke clearly like you and I are sitting here having a conversation. She had no delays in her speech or anything. I was like, wow, that really blew me away, because again, we have to be careful about some of the things that, because we don't believe in it, that we talk down on it, because there's actually benefit that that people actually can benefit from.
Right. It may be in a cookie form. It may be in a gummy form. Maybe you're not smoking the actual, marijuana, but you're still able to get the benefits from it. Pain is one of the big things that most people are experiencing. Tremendous pain that they're not even to get the relief that they need. But because they're able to have an edible of some sort, they're able to have the pain ease without being on a narcotic.
Gotcha. Now that brings me to my next question, because I got to ask, how is it better as far as the consuming it? Is it better to smoke it, or is it better to eat it in an edible?
I can't say better or worse. I think it's a preference.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I definitely don't say, oh, this is the way you should do it. No, I think each person has to make a decision what they think is going to work for them. And that's it. And also, a lot of times the THC levels are so much higher in the edibles. So you have to be really careful. Cookie might taste good, but you have to calm yourself down, because you sleep for 2 days. Honestly. So,
not 2 days. What was really on that pen that Sleeping Beauty?
So crazy. I mean, so it's not in my opinion, it's not a better or it's just a preference.
Understood. And so, I have to tell people during my research, do you guys realize that marijuana has been around for like 12,000 years? And it was used in cloths, just like you said. The hemp is used for clothing.
Yeah.
So they used it in cloth. They used it for medicine. So we're talking about way back before we can even count an existence. We can't even it's our family tree that far. But it's been I know we talked about, I guess, the 3 different strains. Can you explain those strains?
Well, all I can do is explain to you that this is what they are. They are a part of the plant.
Okay.
And the specific part of the plant, the indica, is going to cause your body to relax completely. Whereas the sativa is going to cause you to, I say silly, to be more like,
Movie.
Yeah. And y'all, I know, yes, I've never smoked, but I studied it enough to know and have people in my life who smoke, and whether for medicinal purposes or recreational purposes. So we have a lot of states that are bought into both, but so many more that have not. And I think that's the key is Also, you talk about like, what would you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people use different things at different times. Maybe when they're home at 4:20,
Mm-hmm.
they might want to smoke something.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're out and about and the pain takes over,
Mm-hmm.
then they might want to just bite the head off the gummy bear and, you know, just have that to calm them down. So I think it's more about that than anything. There's some people who just really feel the same taboo when it comes to marijuana. It's like, oh no, I can't smoke. I can't smoke. But it doesn't mean that they don't believe the medicinal benefits are there. And so they want to try to figure out how they can get it into their system without smoking it. Mm-hmm.
Understood. Again, you know, this is an amazing subject that we are talking about today. And you know, again, I'm not a marijuana user either. I like to have full control over what I'm doing. So that definitely is not something that you know I have done. I know a lot of people that like to do the gummies and the you know, the baked marijuana in their cookies and all of that. But we're learning today that it's much more than that. You know, and it's much more than that. I know that cocaine isn't cocaine a plant too?
It is.
Yeah, you know, so you know, we get it in the form of codeine, right? Isn't codeine cocaine?
You can.
Yeah, as far as like medical. So again, you know,
And they're not exactly the same substance. So I don't want us to exchange one for the other. I don't want to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know, again, this is just again, the conversations that we have on this show, we're not attempting to diagnose. We're not attempting to sway anybody's decision. Basically, if you are having any type of medical emergency, please go seek medical professional help.
Right.
This show is only for informational purposes only, and also to give you all of these lovely and delicious meals.
Right.
This is the main thing, the food. But this has been a very, very amazing and informative.
Thank you. And that's what
subject.
it is, information. I am not telling you, oh, this strain is for this, and this, if you're experiencing this, go get this. No, that's not what's happening here.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm recommending. I'm just telling you from a medicinal purposes, we have found that this particular strain works with this and that strain works better with that.
Gotcha.
And even more than that, we are going to mostly look at the composition, and we might use a little bit of both depending on what that patient's needs are. So it's not one of those things that you could just say, oh, a blanket prescription for everyone.
Gotcha. Now, when it comes to growing, what are some of the standards? And what are some of the, what are some of the guidelines that someone who obtains a license to grow, what are some of those guidelines? Does their house or does their backyard, do they have to have a specific amount of acres?
No. So first of all, when you're going to get your license, so that's something I do. I help people get their license, take them through the application process. Depending on the state, each state has their own regulations. It is no blanket.
Gotcha.
No. And one thing people must understand, I don't care what state it is still illegal on the federal level. So people don't realize that's like, well, it's legal here in my state of New York. But on the federal level, if they want to put the resources out there and the time, so people are getting away more so because people don't have the money to basically have people go around and do the searches. And when I was in Oklahoma doing the inspections, there were so many people in Oklahoma with licenses because the fee was so low.
Oh, wow.
To get a license. That is abnormal. So what happened is years go on, it's like literally the Wild Wild West. You have people doing all kinds of things. And so they decided, hey, we're going to put some constraints here. And we're going to have some standards and say, hey, you're going to have to send this specimen out to a lab. You're going to have to get it tested. We need to know what the components of the test. We need a copy of the actual reports. And so a lot of people had to shut down because they could not conform to how they're stretching the weed out. how they're getting
Wow.
more for it, what they're adding to it. And so, that's one thing. But there are many different types of licenses that are available. You can
Mhm.
have a small grow,
Okay.
and you literally could just do that right outside.
Mhm.
I don't want to encourage y'all. I'm not gonna get too many of those details, but so you can have a small grow, but you can have an actual grow, which could be, most of the time it's greenhouse.
Mhm.
So you have a huge warehouse when it's just all greenhouses and all different types of plants, and all of those are growing at a different rate,
Mhm.
and then they're drying them out and producing different products. And you can have a manufacturing facility
Gotcha.
where you're actually manufacturing joints,
Mhm.
all types of vape products.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Even the edible side of things.
Gotcha.
So I love that work
Mhm.
because I got a chance to meet such great people who wanted to do the right thing.
Mhm.
So many people, I know they don't have a license and they're still doing it.
Mhm.
And I understand that the license process is very laborious.
Mhm.
And for most people, you can't afford the license. So you could start off spending $250,000 and be way over $1 million by the time you go
Oh
through this
my
process.
gosh.
So that's what makes it so difficult for
Gotcha.
us as minorities and those who. One thing about New Jersey,
Mhm.
when we were going through the licensing process there, I
Mhm.
love the fact that they had priority to those who were previously impacted by being arrested.
Oh wow.
So yes, they have the experience.
Oh,
It
wow.
just, so that was pretty awesome. They also wanted to work with veterans, and
Mhm.
so I think that it's always state specific, and each state that I know now, they're also incorporating the lab process so that things can get tested, because people put things, metals, different things in there that could harm someone.
Wow.
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
guess what, everybody?
What?
This show went way too fast. Honestly, it just went way too fast. I do want to give a shout out. I have to give a shout out to the Level Up Nation family. So, be patient with me. Definitely got to give a shout out to Orlando, who does his thing. Got to give a shout out to Amazing Grace. And I got to give a shout out to Taz. Taz,
Yes.
you're doing an amazing job. You're going to follow in your mom and dad's footsteps. We already know it.
Yes.
So just keep doing your thing, Taz. So before we go, I do want to make sure that you guys are familiar with the entire lineup here on Sunday. So starting off the day, we have Dr. Kyri with
Yes.
Dr. Kyri Listens.
Yes.
Listen, you guys do not want to ever miss an episode. I can guarantee you, almost every episode is a tearjerker. So you have to tune in to Dr. Kyri Listens. Then we have our staple show, which is The Real Level Up with Angee from the B and Mr. Scribe. And then on every second Sunday, but I know we're doing something different. On every second Sunday, you'll have Food for Talk with me. After my show, we have the New Artist Profile with Tony D. And then after the New Artist Profile with Tony D, we have CHH Jams Presents. And so we have three familiar faces. We have Orlando, we have Birdie, and we have Kimberly Howell from Angel Wings. Angel Wings!
Yes.
We love all of them. And then rounding out the night, we have the Pat Nash show. So we just want you guys to be encouraged. I know you can't, spend every waking minute watching Level Up Nation, but every show has something different to offer. And so we do want to thank you for tuning in with us on this wonderful and beautiful Easter Sunday. And also, it is the Stoners holiday, 420. We do want to thank Dr. Kyri for, number one, thank you so much for agreeing to come on my show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I mean, to me, it's always a blessing to have Dr. Kyri on my show, because I learned some of the things that I do on my show. I'm learning from her. So it's a blessing. And I do
Thank
want to
you.
say thank
You're
you
welcome.
from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
But geez, our hour is over. We do want to thank you guys. We hope that you guys are enjoying family. And we just can't wait to see you the next time. So we will see you again on the second Sunday, but Level Up Nation is every Sunday. So tune in. We love you. Dr. Kyri, do you have anything parting that you would like to tell?
I just want to tell everyone, if you are interested in being on the Dr. Kyri show, it is an opportunity for you to experience life-changing healing. You know, it's just all about presenting an opportunity where you get a time to be heard, because I love to listen. There's a lot of shows Dr. Kyri listens, but to be heard so that the healing process can begin. And you know, I call it reciprocal healing. It's not just you experiencing healing, I'm experiencing healing, our guests are experiencing the beginning of healing. So please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yes, yes. So we love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday, and we will see you next Sunday.
Powder Springs, Georgia, and surrounding area. Do you have something to pack, ship, print, copy, fax? Well, make your way to Mail in the Box, your neighborhood business center, located at 4400 Brownsville Road, Suite 105, Powder Springs, Georgia, 30127. Mail in the Box offers a plethora of services, which include notary services, digital fingerprinting, document shredding, passport photos, physical and virtual mailboxes, just to name a few. For more information about the services offered, please stop by their website at www.mailinthebox.net. Mail in the Box, your neighborhood business center, and tell them that Kelli sent you. My name is Kelli Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. Numbers is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers into non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes one number at a time.
And let's have a moment of clarity. There's freedom in your transparency. When you speak, you release. That's therapy. It's my decision to listen and do it carefully. Wanna live carefree? Well, it's gonna start. When secrets are kept, families are torn apart. I wanna do my part to help heal your heart. Shed some light on your life when your days are dark. Help ignite a spark that'll bring change. Be your shelter from the rain. Assist with
Yo, here we go. Intro for my show. Nice though, hot like nitro. Cool as ice though. With that type of dichotomy, y'all know it's gotta be. Who else could it be but T? Rub your eyes, behold the Tony D. I'm the Dream Supreme DJ straight out of Queens. I'm eclectic, the dope is selected. Emerging music break, Tony D will take, yeah.
Well, Tony, I don't care, long as you take me there, someplace to ease my mind.
This is recording artist Bertrand McKinney, aka Birdie, and you're listening to CHH Jams, where the bars come from the word. Y'all keep it locked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. This is Orlando Presents right here on CHH Damn Presents. Make sure y'all tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and check out our new show, CHH Jam Presents, right here on The Real Level Up. Let's go, y'all. Let's level up, level up. Let's get it. CHH Jam Presents.
Hello, everyone. This is Pat Nash of Pat Nash Talks, where we have the conversations that create real relationships. I'm here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us right here on Level Up Nation. See you then.